morning. Hope everyone is doing great today. We are going to discuss the exterior angle theorem. And I know this seems a little bit tough, and it's definitely tough to do at home. But I just want to familiarize you with these concepts because you're going to see them next year in high school. So it's important that I at least show you how to do things. If you can't do it right away, keep trying and persevere and ask for help. And you also have the internet. So look up a different way that people have solved it compared to me. All right, so let's get to it. The essential statement for today is I can solve for the unknown using exterior angle theorem. And to remind you of what the exterior angle theorem is, it's basically angles 1 and angle 2. If you look in the diagram, angle 1 and angle 2 is going to be equal to angle 4. Okay, so the two remote interior angles, remember, remote interior angles means that they do not touch the exterior angle. So the remote interior angles, when you add them up, they equal the exterior angle. All right, we're going to get right into 3 different examples, and we got this. Let me pull up a chair, and let's do this thing. All right, so you have this triangle, and it has 2 remote interior angles and 1 exterior angle. And I think the most important part here is how you set up the problem. All right, so we're going to set it up taking these 2 angles and equaling it to this angle right here. So 84 plus 7x plus 5 equals 17x minus 1. All right, so start by putting that line down, the equal sign. We know that. You got that. You're amazing. You might look a little overwhelmed. Oh no, there's 2, both sides have variables on them. You know what? It's going to be fine, and we know how to solve it when there's 2 variables on it. Okay, so first let's start off with what we know, and we can combine like terms on each specific side. So on each side, or like on this side, we're going to combine the like terms. And then if they have any terms to combine, which they don't, then we combine them. So I know this is a like term, and this is a like term. And then that 7x is all by itself, so we don't have to worry about that. So let's combine those. 84 and 5 is 89. Then we just plop down our 7x is equal to 17x minus 1. All right. Now I guess what we're going to do is we're going to get all the variables on one side and all the numbers on the other side. You can do it where the variables are on this side. You can do it where the variables are on this side, but I don't like to work with negatives sometimes. So I'm going to subtract 7x, and whatever I do on one side, I also do to the other side, and make sure it's lined up with the variables. I don't want to put the negative minus 7x over here because I can't add or subtract them because they don't have anything in common. So make sure I'm lining those up. So that cancels out. I've got 89 equal to 17x minus 7x. We've got 10x minus 1. And then it's just a 2-step equation. Okay, so I look at the side with the variable. I look at the number not attached to the variable. I perform the opposite operation. I'm going to have to kind of make it kind of small. I already pre-wrote these out. So now I have 90 plus 10x. That cancels. I add 89 plus 1 equals 90. And then to get x by itself, we perform the opposite operation. And 10 and x are so close together with multiplication. The opposite of that is division. So we divide by 10. Whatever we do on one side, we also do to the other. So we have 90 divided by 10. And I'll just put it over here, x equals 9. And then from there, you can find what the degrees are for each angle, but we're going to do that a little later. Okay. Let's move down to the next one. Hopefully I give myself some more space. Okay, so it looks a little different, but it's still okay because we have two remote interior angles and we have one exterior angle. So let me set up the problem with these two angles added together equal 130. So 14x plus 6 plus 16x plus 4 equals 130. Okay, let's draw our line. All right, so you might think this one is going to be a little bit easier because all the variables are on one side. So the first thing we need to do is to combine like terms. All right, so I've got 14x and 16x. Those are like terms. And then you have 6, I'm going to box these, and 4x, those are like terms. All right, so when we add 14x plus 16x, that equals 30x. And then 6 plus 4, that equals 10. All right. Again, if you ever need to pause the video, if I'm going way too fast, pause it, slow it down, and learn at your own pace. Okay, so now this is just a two-step equation. So what I need to do is find the number not attached to the variable, find the side with the variable, find the number not attached to the variable, perform the opposite operation. So the opposite of plus 10 is minus 10, minus 10. I have 30x equals 120. And to get x by itself, I need to, since they're so close together, we need to divide. So divide by 30, whatever I do on one side, I also do to the other. And then x equals 120 divided by 30. I can just cancel these zeros out. And then 12 divided by 3, you already know, is 4. So that's what x equals. All right. Last but not least, our last problem. All right. And again, please pause the video, and if I'm going too fast, or if you want to try to solve this on your own. So pause the video first and then start it back up again when you are ready to go. Okay, so I've got two interior angles that are remote, and so when I add them up, they're going to equal the exterior. So I'm going to try to give myself as much space as I can. So 57 plus 5x plus 1, 57, 5x, minus 1. Whoa, see? Having these are so important. So your pluses and your minuses, your negatives and your positives. That could have messed up the whole problem. Thank goodness I checked, right? So I've got 57 and then 5x minus 1. Good catch on my part. And then equals 12x plus 7. All right, so we've got a number, a variable on both sides. So what we're going to do is start with combining like terms on either side. So this side we cannot combine any like terms because this one has a variable and this one does not. And so you cannot combine anything here. On this side, we can combine 57 and negative 1. So 57 plus negative 1, or 57 minus 1, is going to be 56. So we've got 56 plus 5x equals 12x plus 7. Okay, now we need to get the variables all on one side. You might be asking, okay, which side should the variables be on? So I look at both of the variables. So I'm looking at both of them right now, and I see that 5 is less than 12, right? So I want to take this 5 and move it over here. Because when I subtract, if I were to subtract 12, this would become negative. if I were to subtract 5, this is still positive. I know that made some sense, but hopefully that's the reasoning why I'm subtracting 5 from both sides. Is I want to look at the smaller one and then perform the opposite operation of that. Okay, so I subtracted 5 from both sides. I got 56 equals 12 minus 5. What is 12 minus 5? Yeah, it's going to be 7. So we've got 7x plus 7. And now this is just a two-step equation. All right, so we have find the side with a variable, find the number not attached to the variable, perform the opposite operation. So minus 7, whatever I do on one side, I also do to the other side. So I've got 56 minus 7 if you want to use your calculator, check me, but I know it's 49. Keep my line going. So 49 equals 7x. And to get the x by itself, I perform the opposite operation. Remember, those are stuck together with multiplication. So the way to get them apart is division. Divide by 7, divide by 7. And x equals 49 divided by 7. You guys can do that. You're smart. Equals 7. Okay, so I said earlier I'm going to figure out what one of these angles are. Yes. So in order to do that, I can just take, if I want to find this angle right here, I just take this and plug in 7 where the x is. Okay, so 5 times 7, you know, is 35. 35 minus 1, and this angle right here is 34. Let me know if you have any questions, comments, concerns. Comment below, comment on Google Classroom. Again, you can look up some other videos on the exterior angle theorem if you are still confused. If not, have a great day, and I'll put your quizzes up shortly.